Welcome back to the Simpit Sim Racers. First, I want to wish y'all a happy new year, and I hope you guys had a great holiday and everybody got that button box that they were wishing for. Sim racing's been around for a very long time now, but it wasn't until the pandemic hit that it grew exponentially. All of a sudden, you saw your favorite race car drivers being broadcasted in virtual cars on a virtual track and racing each other. It was great. It was amazing. And it brought in a new crowd, which was refreshing. Now, Simracing developers took great notice of it and began to pump out more and more updates to their titles. In today's video, I'm going to take a quick look at what to expect from the established sim racing titles and what new titles to expect in 2022. All the major titles made great updates to their sims. I'm not talking about you, Project Cars. Sorry. iRacing had a busy 2021. With a number of updates they brought to us to increase the quality of the sim. They brought us a multitude of new content from cars and tracks, game updates to quality of life updates to their UI. And 2022 should be no different. As the other sims begin to become more and more popular, iRacing plans on staying as the king of sim racing. So what do we know so far? Well, iRacing's already told us about the Brazilian stock cars, the 1987 Buick stock car, the new 2022 F1 Mercedes, which I expect to come out later this year, and then there was a leaked F4 car. With the tracks, there was going to be two Australian tracks, Sandown Raceway and Winton Motor Raceway, a rescan of Indy, and not to mention rain. We also just saw that iRacing acquired Orontis Games, the makers of the game Drag. It's an off-road game known for their great suspension system and soft collision damage. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the developers of iRacing do with this new acquisition. Sector 3 brought us a major overhaul of the user interface and the force feedback system in June of 2021. If you haven't tried RACEROOM since then, you need to give it a try, as it's made the driving experience a lot better in my opinion. It was a great welcome to the sim that pushed it forward. But since then, we really haven't heard much else besides getting a new car and a track. Should we be worried about it? I don't think so. Usually RACEROOM's pretty quiet until they're ready to release new content, but I expect us to get some new cars and tracks in 2022. REZA Studios have been giving us monthly updates, and I expect the same going into next year. They've already taken the Slightly Mad Studios' Madness engine further than what the Project Cars series could have done. And many even say AMS2 is what Project Cars 3 should have been. We should see the third update to the popular Racing USA DLC, and that's going to bring us Road America and the Circuit of Americas. We're also going to get vintage layouts of the Nürburgring and Spa, and more F1 inspired cars, and much more. Also, we should expect to see more further fine-tuning to their beta online rating system. It's already showing great potential to up the competition on the multiplayer side. Kunos' latest update brought us a huge update to the physics system, improved performance with NVIDIA's DLSS and AMD's FSR support. They also brought us a Europe GT World Challenge 2021 season, along with the new BMW M4 GT3 car. In the launch video for the last update, we saw glimpses of content not really in the game yet. We were treated to shots of Circuits of America, the BMW M2 CS racing car, and the Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo Evo 2. We also saw the Lexus F branding that was displayed on the track. So does that mean we're also getting a Lexus car? A surprising thing we also saw was a new Porsche 992 911 Cup car, along with the Ferrari 488 Challenge. Now those two cars run outside of the SRO, so how these cars are going to fit in the ACC, we don't know yet. But let's not forget that ACC is also going to see a release on the PS5, the Xbox X, and S series, so I expect big things to come from the ACC team in 2022. F1 2021 was a good F1 racing title. They brought in new content such as My Team mode, where you create a new team and you race in it, a 2-player career mode where you and your friend can either be rivals on the track or be teammates on the same team and help each other out. and a story mode where you begin your journey in F2 and climb up to the ranks of F1. No doubt Codemasters is hard at work with the 2022 version. Next season, we're going to see new sweeping changes to the regulations and how the cars look and drive. I can't wait to see those cars in action. And lastly, the buzz of crossplay. Codemasters introduced crossplay to Dirt 5, and Lee Mathers, the director of the game, confirmed it's something that they're going to work on in the future release. What is there to not say about Gran Turismo 7? Every week we see new videos about what to expect from it. What we do know so far is that this release seems like a return of Gran Turismo of old, which is a great welcome. GT Sport was good, but it was geared towards online play. Some of the new or returning features we know so far are dynamic time and weather using realistic data from NASA. We have a campaign mode, car tuning and maintenance, and an upgrade to the livery editor, plus photo mode. We also see a return of the used car dealership, and we saw glimpses of Brian auctions. So how that's going to work, we're still not sure yet. And last but not least, the return of GT's tracks we've been begging for a long time. Going into the rumor bag, we've also seen leaked info of Sony's possible jump to the PC world, and GT7 was on that list. So will PC sim racers be able to see what GT7 is all about? We'll see. In 2022, we're going to see the return of Sony's Gran Turismo competitor, Microsoft's 8th installment of Forza Motorsport. Turn 10 have said they want to provide a deeper and more authentic feel to the title with a richer multiplayer experience. They've completely revamped the tire model to provide a more realistic feel, a new suspension system, and dynamic weather and track using real data. We're also going to see a ranked multiplayer system, online race weekends, and real endurance races complete with driver changes and pit stops. With all these new features added, you can't help but think, is this Microsoft and Turn 10's way of turning Forza into a full-fledged sim, or are they going to play to their strengths and stay in line with what made Forza a beloved racing title? In 2022, we're getting another racing title based on the real-life Dakar event. Dakar Rally 18 came out with little fanfare since it was an unpolished game with many bugs that turned people away. This time, we have the team behind SnowRunner at the helm. The game is going to feature the 2020 and the 2021 events with 30 stages with racing cars, trucks, motorcycles, quads, and SSVs. That's going to be roughly over 150 vehicles. It will feature dynamic weather to include sandstorms, rain, mud, and a full day and night cycle. You'll still be able to stop and help tow competitors when they're stuck. Multiplayer is going to be available, but we don't have that much information on it yet. The studio has a tall order in front of it. Trying to create a physics engine of the different types of terrain you're going to encounter in light cars, heavy cars, is going to be really hard. But I think the team learned well with SnowRunner, and I think they can build upon their experience on that. Can you believe it? Need for Speed has been around for almost 30 years now, going back to the original PlayStation console. Need for Speed has its ups and downs over the years, but Heat brought back the Need for Speed magic, and EA is trying to build back on it. They've brought back Criterion to work on the next installment. If you don't remember them, they're the makers of Hot Pursuit and Most Wanted, not to mention the popular Burnout series. We don't have much info on the game, but we hope it can return it to its former glory days. It's been more than a decade since we've seen a test drive title, but in 2022, we'll see Test Drive head to Hong Kong. KT Racing has confirmed it's going to be a one-for-one recreation of the real Hong Kong city, complete with all its landmarks. We also know it's going to be using the WRC8 engine and handling model. We're not sure if that's changed since the release of WRC10, but we do hope so. We're also going to have freedom of progression and do what we want to do in-game, along with the story mode and the return of the classic Opium Championship. So far, we know Aston Martin, Land Rover, Audi, Bentley, and Mercedes cars have been confirmed to be in the game. but Steam lists many more manufacturers. We don't have much info on multiplayer, but we've been told there's going to be an online free roam mode where you and your friends can drive and chill out in Hong Kong. The release of Grid Legends is right around the corner, February 25th to be exact, and this is going to be Codemasters' first release under the EA banner. So what do we know so far? We know the title is going to feature crossplay between the PlayStation and Xbox consoles to include the PC. The game is going to feature over 100 cars across 9 categories, 22 tracks totaling 143 layouts on release, with more being added as future DLC options. We're going to have multiple race options with the return of drift events and the new electric and stadium truck events. The lecture series is going to feature boost zones, and the truck events we're going to see jumps. With the new grid, we're going to see day and night progression and interchangeable weather to include snow. We're also going to see a career mode where you, as the owner or driver, make your way up through the classes to become a legend. We also get to have the newest feature, which is going to be a separate Driven to Glory story mode. It's a narrative-driven story mode filmed using the same mixed reality process as the Mandalorian TV show, with actors on set working with live CGI in real time. We're finally going to hear our rival from the previous installments, Raven West Motorsport driver Nathan West. So, Pit Crew, that's my list of games and updates that I'm looking forward to in the coming year. If there's anything that I missed, let me know. Also, leave me a note about what you're looking forward to the most. And as usual, if you like this video, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.